The Clinton body count is a sprawling conspiracy theory that has haunted the political landscape for decades. It alleges that former President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton are connected to a suspiciously high number of deaths. These deaths, the theory claims, are not coincidences but are instead part of a systematic cover-up of their alleged crimes. The list of supposed victims is long and varied, including political associates, whistleblowers, and personal acquaintances. Proponents of the theory suggest these individuals were eliminated because they knew too much about the Clintons' supposed illicit activities. The origins of this narrative trace back to the early 1990s, during Bill Clinton's first presidential campaign. A key early document was a list compiled by Indianapolis attorney Linda Thompson in 1993. Titled The Clinton Body Count, Coincidence or the Kiss of Death, it quickly circulated in conservative circles. Thompson herself, however, admitted to having no direct evidence to support her claims of murder. The theory gained significant traction with the release of a 1994 film called The Clinton Chronicles. This film, promoted by the late Reverend Jerry Falwell, painted a dark picture of Bill Clinton's time as governor of Arkansas. It accused him of a range of crimes, from drug trafficking to orchestrating murders. One of the most prominent names on the list is Vince Foster, a deputy White House counsel. Foster was a close friend of Hillary Clinton and a trusted advisor from their days in Arkansas. In July 1993, Foster was found dead in Fort Marcy Park, Virginia, from a gunshot wound. His death was officially ruled a suicide by multiple independent investigations. These included inquiries by the U.S. Park Police, the FBI, and 2 congressional committees. Independent counsel Kenneth Starr's extensive Whitewater investigation also concluded it was suicide. Despite these official findings, conspiracy theorists maintain that Foster was murdered. They speculate he was killed to silence him about the Whitewater controversy or other secrets. Another frequently cited case is that of Ron Brown, the Secretary of Commerce. Brown died in a plane crash in Croatia in 1996 while on a trade mission. The official investigation by the U.S. Air Force blamed pilot error and severe weather. However, theories emerged suggesting Brown was shot before the crash. These claims were fueled by a pathologist who noted a circular wound on Brown's head. Subsequent analysis by military officials confirmed the wound was from a blunt force impact during the crash. No evidence of a bullet or an exit wound was ever found by investigators. The theory posits Brown was about to be indicted and was silenced. Jim McDougal, a former business partner of the Clintons, is also on the list. He was a key figure in the Whitewater real estate scandal. McDougal died of a heart attack in a federal prison hospital in 1998. He was serving a sentence for fraud related to the Whitewater investigation. Conspiracy theorists find the timing of his death, while he was cooperating with prosecutors, suspicious. However, McDougal had a long history of serious health problems, including heart disease. The theory also unfolds the tragic 1987 deaths of 2 teenage boys in Arkansas. John Henry and Kevin Ives were found dead on a railway line. Initially ruled an accident, their deaths were later reclassified as probable homicides. The Clinton Chronicles alleged the boys stumbled upon a drug smuggling operation. The film connected this supposed operation to Bill Clinton, who was governor at the time. No credible evidence has ever linked Clinton to the boys' deaths or any related cover-up. The case remains a painful and unsolved mystery in Arkansas history. See Victor Risa II, a national finance co-chairman for Clinton's campaign, also died tragically. He and his son were killed in a plane crash in Alaska in 1992. National Transportation Safety Board ruled the crash an accident. The probable cause was cited as the pilot's failure to maintain airspeed during a turn. Jerry Parks, head of security for the 1992 Clinton campaign headquarters, was murdered in 1993. He was shot in his car at a stoplight in Little Rock, Arkansas. His murder remains unsolved, which has fueled speculation. Parks' son later claimed his father had been compiling a secret file on Clinton's personal life. This claim, though sensational, has never been substantiated with evidence. The theory has shown remarkable longevity, adapting to new political contexts. In 2016, the theory was revived and applied to the death of Seth Rich. Rich was a Democratic National Committee staffer who was killed in what police believe was a botched robbery. The murder remains unsolved, creating a vacuum for conspiracy theories to fill. False reports, later retracted, claimed Rich was the source of the DNC email leak to WikiLeaks. This led to the baseless speculation that Hillary Clinton had him killed for revenge. Rich's family has repeatedly pleaded for an end to the politicization of their son's death. Fact-checking organizations like Snopes have extensively debunked the Clinton body count list. They point out that many individuals on the list had no known connection to the Clintons. Some people listed were misidentified, while others are actually still alive. The theory relies heavily on suggestion, innuendo, and the sheer number of names. It creates a pattern where none exists by linking unrelated tragedies. Critics argue that any person with a large circle of associates over a long career will know people who die. Presidents and other high-profile figures have exceptionally large networks of contacts. Statistically, it is inevitable that some of these individuals will die of various causes over time. These causes include accidents, suicides, and natural illnesses, which are all part of life. The theory often ignores the official, well-documented explanations for these deaths. It instead favors a more sinister and sensational narrative. For a conspiracy of this magnitude to be true, it would require the complicity of hundreds of people. This would include police officers, coroners, federal agents, and journalists. The idea of maintaining such a large-scale, leak-proof conspiracy over decades is highly improbable. Furthermore, many vocal critics and political opponents of the Clintons remain perfectly healthy. Figures like Monica Lewinsky, Linda Tripp, and Jennifer Flowers have not been harmed. The persistence of the theory is often attributed to a deep-seated political mistrust. It thrives in an environment of partisan polarization and distrust of institutions. The internet and social media have allowed the theory to spread faster and wider than ever before. Algorithms can create echo chambers where such beliefs are reinforced without challenge. The narrative provides a simple, villainous explanation for complex and tragic events. It transforms random misfortune into a deliberate plot, which can be psychologically comforting for some. Body count list is not a static document. It changes over time. New names are sometimes added, while others are quietly dropped when proven to be alive. This fluidity makes the theory difficult to definitively debunk in the public mind. The theory often resurfaces during election cycles, particularly when a Clinton is running for office. It serves as a powerful political tool to generate suspicion and animosity. In 2016, Donald Trump alluded to the theory, mentioning the very strange death of Vince Foster. This brought the decades-old conspiracy theory back into the mainstream political discourse. The story of the Clinton body count is a case study in the power of political myth. It demonstrates how suspicion can be weaponized in the political arena. The narrative persists despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary. Each death is treated not as a separate tragedy, but as another data point in a grand conspiracy. The theory requires one to believe The Clintons are both master criminals and incredibly sloppy. They would be brilliant enough to orchestrate dozens of murders, yet leave a trail of bodies. This internal contradiction is often overlooked by believers. The emotional appeal of the theory often outweighs the logical inconsistencies. It taps into a primal fear of powerful, unchecked authority. Theory frames the Clintons as the ultimate political villains. This narrative is far more compelling than the mundane reality of accidents and illness. The burden of proof is cleverly shifted in the world of conspiracy. Absence of evidence is not seen as evidence of absence. Instead, it's interpreted as proof of a successful cover-up. Every official report is dismissed as part of the conspiracy. This creates a closed logical loop from which it is difficult to escape. The theory has caused real pain for the families of the deceased. They are forced to see their loved ones' deaths used as political props. Their personal tragedies are twisted into public spectacles. The story of Vince Foster is particularly tragic in this regard. A man's struggle with depression was reframed as a political assassination. His family has had to endure these false narratives for decades. The theory also undermines faith in democratic institutions. It suggests that the justice system is completely corrupted. It implies that law enforcement is complicit in covering up crimes. And it posits that the media is a tool for disinformation. This erosion of trust has long-lasting consequences for society. When no one is trusted, objective truth becomes difficult to establish. The Clinton body count is more than just a list of names. It is a powerful narrative that reflects deep political anxieties. It is a testament to the enduring power of a good story, however untrue. The theory's journey began with mimeographed lists in the early 90s. It then found a home in the nascent world of internet forums and newsgroups. Talk radio shows also played a significant role in its dissemination. Each medium allowed the story to evolve and reach new audiences. The core of the theory, however, has remained remarkably consistent. It always involves the Clintons, secrecy, and a trail of convenient deaths. The theory's adaptability is a key to its survival. It can absorb new events and individuals into its existing framework. The death of Jeffrey Epstein in 2019 provided new fuel for the fire. Though not officially on the body count list, his death was immediately linked to the Clintons online. The hashtag #ClintonBodyCount trended on social media for days. This happened despite no evidence linking them to his death. It shows the theory has become a reflexive shorthand for political suspicion. A mysterious death in the political world can be attributed to the Clintons. The theory functions as a kind of political folklore. It's a story passed down through partisan tribes to explain the world. It reinforces a sense of us versus them. The them in this story are the corrupt, powerful elites. The you-is are the truth seekers who see through the lies. This framework is simple, powerful, and emotionally resonant. Ultimately, the Clinton body count is a story about power. It's about the fear of what people with power might do to keep it. And it's about the stories we tell ourselves to make sense of a chaotic world. Whether coincidence or cover-up, the narrative itself has become a political force. It has shaped political discourse for more than a generation. The question of its truthfulness seems almost secondary to its impact. It continues to be a dark and persistent shadow in American politics.